Hello Pisces, welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. If Pisces is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. If there is anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger. And I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And remember, Pisces, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And look at that sun card, beautiful energy. You are a shining star. You are a real light in the world right now. I think that you are a charming person. I think that you are charismatic. I feel like you are a presence. I think that you're somebody who is really generous with your time and your energy and your love and your light, you know. And I think people rely on you. You know, there are a lot of people that need you in that way, even if it's just for like being just being like a positive influence on people, you know, being somebody who is encouraging, being somebody who is able to see the bright side of things. Yeah, I feel like you are a very positive influence on people. I feel that when things are difficult, you're able to sort of give hope and inspiration to the rest of us. Yeah. I find that you're a very creative energy right now. I think that you are probably working on something very, very important in your life. And I think this card is kind of talking about you perceiving the final stage or the final product of it, you know, because this is a card of clarity as much as it is success, health, wealth, you know, and all this sort of stuff, light and love and everything. This card really is the best card. This is, you know, everything. There's a lot of clarity in this card. So I think that you're understanding the life that you live and its larger sort of implications. You're able to see past, present, and future, but not just in the small context of our current life. But I would imagine that you are getting a perception of past lives and even still getting a perception of future lives too. You're able to see really the big cosmic picture of things. Yeah. Let's put this card into some context, if you will bear with me. We will put some more cards out on the table and see what's going on with this sun card. I got an ace. I wonder if the ace is the summit of the mountain here for you. When we have the sun card, we're talking about the clarity. I wonder if you're able to now see exactly what's coming next for you. Maybe this is the next step, the next path, the next project, right? Let's see. Got a tower. The tower hasn't been coming out very often lately. It's nice to get a tower. That feels very refreshing, right? Two of swords. Yeah, that makes sense. But the ace of swords, the tower, the ace of swords, the clarity of the sun card, and the very next step for you is a correction, is a solution to the problem of the two, right? The duality. There are too many options, right? Here, it is one. It is one step. It's one thought, one step, one reality, one big event, right? In the future position. And Eight of Cups. All right, I wasn't expecting that, but it's all right. We'll deal with that, because I think this is important. I think this is a big decision coming down the pipe for you. Major transformation for you. with this Tower energy? Yes. We got a Knight of Cups, got a 9 of Wands, we've got a 5 of Pentacles, but we got a 9 of Pentacles. Yes. Prepare for your fortune, Pisces. Major transformation. Major transformation. You don't want the ups. You don't want the discord. You don't want the change. You don't want the confusion. You don't want the risk. You don't want the instability. But this big change is taking you away from something that is limiting, right? It's an 8. And the 8, as we know, is a figure 8, right? It's the lemniscate, right? The infinity symbol. It loops back in on itself. The 8 is a situation that's not bad. You're not getting away from anything toxic. It's not like that. But you're realizing that if you really want the 9 of Pentacles, if you really want the sort of life that you've always been dreaming of, that you've always imagined, you're going to have to step a little bit outside of this comfortable sort of box that we're in. And we think of the 8 of Cups as somebody walking away from what's good, comfortable, familiar. We like it. There's nothing wrong with it. It's satisfying, right? Sort of like we're walking away from this meal because we know that we're going to go to the banquet. It's kind of like when, if I know we're going out to dinner or something, I'll eat a really small lunch, you know? It's kind of like, well, I'm not going to eat lunch today because I'm going to wait till we get to the restaurant. You know, then that's going to be that. Then I'll eat. You know, so we're walking away from something that, for all intents and purposes, is just fine. But you know that there's more out there for you. You know that there's something greater coming down the line. So we're willing to walk away from this. Okay, we're willing to not really walk away from it necessarily, but to transcend it. We're willing to go beyond this. And not even a matter of being willing, is that this is the only logical choice. Because we got the certainty of the Ace of Swords here. It's not a choice. It's a certainty. There is no other choice. But to continue past this toward your great fortune, right? Whatever the 9 of Pentacles is, it could be money. Yes, very much could be money. It could be a lot of things too, okay? Not just money. It's life itself. It's the life that keeps on living, right? It's progress for you, whatever that means to you. Whatever your purpose in life is, that is the progression of it. That is the success of it, okay? Let's select the mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown, and we're going to set it down right over here and put Tiny Bob Ross right on top. Happy little Bob. We're not going to look at that card until the very end, but it will tie everything together. It will give us the confirmation that we need. If you have a prediction for that card, put it in the comments down below. Let's do it together. Let's make it a group exercise. All right? It'll be fun. Let's take a look around the room, too, while we're here. We've got 2 major arcana energies. We've got the sun, right? The clarity, the perception of past, present, and future. It's kind of as if the sun is you perceiving this 9 of Pentacles already being in your future. There's no doubt about it, right? The Ace of Swords, right? No doubt. A little tarot humor, tarot pun, if you will. There's no doubt that the 9 of Pentacles is in your future because you have that higher perspective. You have that perception of it. And so that gives you this absolute certainty. This is a very confident step, right? The ace and the ace here. You think it and you do it. So with the Sun and the Tower card, it's kind of like you know that to transcend the 8 of Cups, it's going to be a disruption of that pattern, that loop. That cycle that we're in, that habit, that routine, whatever that algorithm is, right? And so you know that the Tower, it's necessary. The Tower is change. The Tower is quick, abrupt change. Okay? The Tower is sort of one of these many crises that we have in life. It's the moment of culmination. It's the eruption of all this energy that's been brewing under the surface for a long time anyway. It is the punctuation of life, the exclamation point. It feels like it comes out of nowhere, but it doesn't really. It's something that you've been setting up for a long time, and that's why it's important that the sun has the perception of the past. Not only the history of this life, but past lives, if you believe in that sort of thing. It's big picture, cosmic stuff here. Okay? Because the tower, it's not something that is random, out of the blue. I don't know how this could be happening now. No, it's something that's been through your choices, your decision, through your karma, has been building up and building up and building up. And it's culminating in this moment. This is the moment of eruption. This is the moment of where it feels abrupt, where we get that exclamation point. And, I think that it is causing a little bit of disruption in our life, as a tower inevitably will every time, no matter what. But the tower energy in itself is not good or bad. Sometimes it's both. It's going to disrupt life, so that's kind of bad. We don't want that. That's why we got a 5 of Pentacles in the position of what you don't want. You don't want your life to be disrupted. Nobody wants that, right? Sometimes we know that, especially when we get here, we know that sometimes the disruption of what is too stagnant and too fixed is very necessary. If we're going to get to the 9 of Pentacles, get to our fortune, get to our fame, get to our life, get to our progress and our expansion and our growth and whatever it is, we know that we have to break through what is limiting. We have to transcend what is the sort of the baseline right now. And that's the purpose of life. That's what I think all of us are trying to do in some way or another. Transcend our current situation, right? To improve the quality of our life for ourselves and others, to alleviate suffering for ourselves and others. That's kind of a very general goal that we all have, I think, So the 5 of Pentacles becomes the card we need. Once we get over here and we realize with the Knight of Cups that we are following our destiny. Okay. So we've got our Sun card and our Tower card. Okay. Otherwise, let's see, we got a little bit of fire, a little bit of water, a little bit of air, we got a little bit of earth, right? And so, it's fairly balanced, The Sun card is really all the fire that we need, right? All of the energy of life comes from the sun ultimately. It sort of makes its way through other things before it reaches the sort of, reaches us or whatever. So technically we don't really need any fire cards here, but we have one in the environment position. And I think this is very important since it is really the only, and of course the water energy that we have is, we've got to focus on that as well. But I think, it's significant that we only have one fire card because we have 1, 2, 3 earth. We've got the two air and 2 water, but there's only one fire card. And I think it's in the environment because it's us being strong enough and connected enough to spirit, to our intuition, to the divine realm, to your higher conscience, to your higher wisdom and discernment, whatever you want to call it, whatever you believe in, to withstand the disruption that the tower is going to cause. Right? As you transform, as you transcend into your best life, into that 9 of Pentacles, there's going to be some waves. There's going to be a little bit of a ripple effect. There's going to be some casualties, I would say. And without the 9 of Wands here, it may be difficult to sort of to endure the tower energy. Right? The tower is a significant amount of force. It's enough to knock us on our butt, and we might just say, I don't want to do it. It's not worth it. Not worth the aggravation, not worth the struggle, not worth the pain or the sore back or whatever it's going to take. But if we stay committed to our purpose, if we realize and we know that this is for the best, this is my destiny, this is for all the right things, this is good, then we can sort of stand up to and resist the urge to quit when it gets sort of rough. Or when we see that, we're sort of walking away from that Eight of Cups, and maybe this is affecting your relationships or sort of affecting some of your other activities or things that you've been involved with, and that you're sort of transforming and your life is transforming. Sometimes it feels easier to I'll just stay in the Eight of Cups. This is fine. I'll just eat here, right? I'll eat here, I'll have this lunch here today rather than having to endure the next few hours and go to the restaurant. It's like I'm hungry now, but I'm going to spoil my dinner. But I can't, I'm just too hungry now, right? So this is the card that says, you can be hungry for a couple hours because you're going to get to that restaurant. It's all going to be worth it, right? So I think there's a reason why we need the strength here. This is the strength to say, I'm so hungry, but I don't want to ruin my appetite. I don't want to snack on something that's just whatever now. I'm going to wait a couple hours or whatever, and I'm going to go to that restaurant. And you can tell I'm hungry, right? I've been here for 4 or 5 hours already today. I'm getting hungry. But it's important that we have that sort of strength, the strength to endure, right? That's the Nine of Wands. We talked about the Tower card anyway underneath the surface, and I think that this is the realization that it has been brewing under the surface for a long time. It may feel like, hey, a big surprise is coming, but really this is something that you've been sort of preparing for a long time anyway, even if you haven't been doing so consciously. It's through your efforts, through your work, through your karma, through your choices, that everything in your life has been leading up to this moment. And I think this is the moment of sort of emerging from that shell, emerging from that cocoon, breaking through the wall, through the ceiling, whatever it is, right? And achieving that Nine of Pentacles. Whatever that goal is for you, it's changing the way you live your life, okay? It's changing your lifestyle. It's really going to be a significant leveling up for you. And I think the finances are one component of it, but a lot of other things too, not just the finances. I mean, it's going to be your activities, where you live, what you do for your life, who you do it with. I mean, a lot of these things are going to be changing and growing and evolving. Once this energy is unleashed, I think you're going to see changes happening very quickly. And it's going to feel rather disruptive, okay? And that's something that you have to be willing to endure. It is worth it. It really is worth it. The Two of Swords in the background position may have been a time where you weren't so sure about what your next step was going to be, or whether or not this was the decision that you should go ahead and do. I don't know if maybe you've been sort of on the cusp of a really big decision, or the prospect of a really big change. And you've been sort of weighing the options and looking at both sides, looking at both angles and thinking, well, if I do this thing, it's going to cause a lot of chaos in my life, but it's going to be worth it, right? If I don't do this thing, my life will stay good, stable, calm, peaceful. But I'm not going to be able to get way over there to where I kind of can see that I could get there, but is it worth it? So we're sort of weighing the options. We're looking at different angles of the thing. But I feel that there is a significant moment in your life right now where there's no doubt this Two of Swords is not here anymore. This is yesterday's news, right? Today's news is absolute certainty and clarity. And maybe this came as a vision, right? Maybe there was some kind of confirmation or synchronicity or even a message from someone else in your life, or something that happened to you that sort of gave you the green light, gave you this certainty, removed the doubt, removed the question. Now you've got absolute certainty. And you know exactly, this is kind of like the button. We're just saying, yeah, green light, hit the button, go. Okay. I think it is a divine certainty. I think with the Ace of Swords, it's not that we've reasoned it enough, that we've come to a conclusion, and now that's that, right? No, this is a clear mind. This is almost an empty mind that's free from all the chatter. You know, we only have a 2 and an Ace of Swords, thankfully. We don't have a 5 of Swords, a 7, 8, 9, 10 of Swords. We don't have that. We have a 2, we have an Ace, right? So I feel that it's just kind of like, I'm done debating it. I'm done talking about it. I'm not going to go around and around and around in my mind trying to logically figure it out. It's kind of like I've stopped asking the questions. And when we stop the chatter of our mind, we're able to receive the divine energy, the higher will, the higher conscience, the divine light, the intuition, whatever you want to call it, right? The higher genius, whatever it is. I don't know what it is. We're able to receive the light. And that's what we're doing here. We're receiving the light of clarity, of certainty, because we've stopped asking questions. We've stopped thinking about it. We've sort of emptied our mind in a way, right? And this is a really smart way of depicting the goal of meditation too. Think of somebody who's sitting down trying to meditate. What are we trying to do but still our mind? We're trying to get rid of all the chatter, all the monkey mind distraction and inattention of the mind. We're trying to clear our heads. And if we can quiet down the thinking, see, the thinking's still there, it's just in the background, right? But if we clear our minds in meditation, we receive the light, and that's enlightenment, right? And the only thing that is preventing us from seeing the light of our own spirit is the chatter of our heads, the chatter of our minds, right? Thoughts, desires, and that sort of, all that takes place in the field of the mind. It doesn't have to be words in your head, right? But it's that mental activity. Thoughts, feelings, hopes, wishes, all sorts of stuff, right? Stopping that chatter allows us to perceive our true spirit. It's sort of like a lake that if there's a lot of ripples in the water and a lot of stuff swimming in the water, all the dirt's going to be churned up. We're not going to be able to see the bottom. But all that dust settles, and there's no movement in the water. We can see clearly down to the bottom, and we can see what's there. And that's enlightenment, I think. Anyway, in a way, I guess. Or so I've heard. What you see in that state of clarity is, of course, your truth, your essence. Maybe you see your true self. Maybe you see spirit. Maybe you see God, goddess, deity, guardian angels, ancestors, spirit guides, higher conscience, whatever it is, whatever the truth really is, your truth. Okay, your sense of purpose. It's a clarity that you know what you're meant to do. You have the answer. You know what this step is. This is, you're looking down, you're seeing the bottom of the whatever lake. Yeah. And so you realize that this is a limiting situation, that this is not the end of the path for you. And again, 8 of Cups, there's nothing wrong with it. But we know that this is not where we're meant to sort of reside permanently. Yeah. And in some ways, this is kind of, the thought and the lake itself, and the kind of, we're not able to see the bottom of this lake here, right? That's a little bit. We've sort of been looping around in that figure 8 for too long that we got to let that dust settle a little bit. We're going to talk about the path of the serpent now, and as we do this, I would like to ask for your subscription. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It is totally free. It doesn't cost anything. It supports the channel, and I appreciate that. I also have another channel, Dove and Serpent Bedtime Stories. Go subscribe over there, too, if you want. Your general energy is the Knight of Cups. The Knights of the Tarot are always looking at the future. And what is the Knight of Cups looking at? Well, the future of the emotions, the future of the water, the future of the satisfaction and the pleasure and the sort of dream, what we believe kind of is our destiny. Really looking at the Ten of Cups. And so when we see then the Eight of Cups, it's kind of like this is not satisfying. It doesn't do it for me anymore. The Knight of Cups is looking at the Ten of Cups, the ideal, the absolute happiest life, the dream come true life. That's what we're looking at here. It gives us a sense of purpose, a sense of aspiration. This is what I'm striving toward. This is what I know is in my future, and I'm going in that direction. It's a sense of purpose. We're following our heart. We're following our spirit, our identity, whatever you want to call it, our truth. This is a certainty as well. And it's the heart that is allowing us to endure the tower, endure the hardships that go along with it. It's enabling us to be strong. Right? And we realize that we do need to move around some of our materials. And the Five of Pentacles is change. It is if this is the fundamental force of change, that sort of the peaks, I guess, the peaks of change or the exclamation points of the energy itself. This is kind of what it does in our daily lives, in our physical existence, our material world, our human lives, where things are literally changing and moving around. Maybe this is you're making some plans over here. Maybe we've got to rearrange some of our stuff. We're rearranging the furniture. Maybe you're packing your boxes. Maybe you're getting ready to move. Maybe you're sort of looking for other locations, or you're making a shift in your career or your focus of school, or maybe you're getting involved in some other activities, or maybe we're focusing more on our activities, our activity level, our health, our well-being. This is a change in behavior. Okay, this is knowing that we've got to do some different stuff, whatever it is, however it's manifesting for you. Okay, it's change, right? It's not the stagnation. It's not the Eight of Cups doesn't feel like stagnation because it's an 8, and because it has the movement, right, of the figure 8. But it's still a state of things. It's still an even number. It's just a 4 on top of a 4, right? It's just a 4 that's become a little bit more complex. That it seems like it's pretty successful. It seems like there's a lot there, right? But it's still limited. It's a closed system. There's no growth. There's no expansion. There's no real movement. There's movement inside the walls, but there's no actual growth there, right? And so the 5 is us realizing that, to have the growth, we've got to invest some of our energy. We've got to start doing things differently. If I want the 9 of Pentacles, I got to be willing to move the 5 of Pentacles around, And so the difficult part is, of course, dealing with all of the movement, which may feel a little chaotic at times, in your human life. But the 9 of Pentacles at the end, this is the life worth living. This is you living your best life. Okay, it's a way of life. You're seeing growth. You're seeing progress. You're not in that 8 just sort of looping back around. You're not just like, running in a circle. You're growing. You're expanding. You're doing more. And whether we're doing more physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, whether we're doing more in our career or our education or our spiritual work or in terms of our relationships, I think it's all of these things. Right? I think we're seeing a lot of progress, a lot of growth in our life in a lot of different areas. It's not just money, finances, but yeah, that's part of it. That is a part of it for sure. We got an Ace of Pentacles, a Five of Pentacles. Brings us a Nine of Pentacles. I don't know how that math works, but it does, right? It's sort of, we're investing our behaviors, we're investing our actions in certain, activities because we know what the result is going to be. I know I'm going to go to the gym, I'm going to exercise and work out, lift heavy weights, I'm going to, do something about what I eat and how I eat and when I eat and stuff. I'm going to move all these things around and yeah, I know what the result's going to be. I'm going to be healthier. At least in some way, right? And it's kind of like maybe this is financial thing. Maybe it's kind of like, okay, I know what I need to do to get the financial growth. I gotta take a look at my spending. I gotta spend money on different things, less things, right? Things I don't need anymore, I'm not gonna buy anymore. I gotta spend money in other places, and I gotta invest in. Maybe you're trying to build a business. Well, you gotta buy equipment or whatever it is. Sometimes you gotta spend money to make money. Well, you got to start doing things a little bit differently to get this wonderful Nine of Pentacles. Let's look at the mystery card. Let's see what this might reveal to us. I'm sort of hoping for the Ten of Cups, right? Because it's your general energy now. You're sort of going after your heart's desire here. Your ideal sort of emotional satisfaction and happiness in the sense of fulfillment. I want it to be a Ten of Cups. If you have a prediction, put it in the comments. Let's see what we have. Okay, Two of Cups. Well, the Two of Cups is at least showing a union here, right? It's showing love. It's showing, I think, in some ways, it's a magnification of the Knight of Cups, because it's showing that you, with this object of your heart's desire, with this sense of purpose and passion for your, whatever this is, that out of that desire comes the wisdom and the strength and the courage. You see that winged lion, right? And the caduceus, right? It's the union of you with this desire. That you pursuing this thing is giving you the strength and the courage and the magic. Really, it's giving you this the Nine of Wands, right? So this is really what it's all about. This is you following your heart, following your sense of purpose, following your destiny. And how that really produces in us this creativity, this courage, this strength, this endurance. Right, to keep going. Now, it's interesting that we have the Two of Swords and the Two of Cups. Now, in this context, I think the idea here is that you can't pursue two things at the same time. We're looking at one thing from different angles. Should I do it? Should I not do it? You're looking at this desire or this objective from different angles and kind of saying, well, do I really love it or do I not love it? It's almost saying that if there is any element of doubt, if there's any impurity there, right? If you're less than 100% aces, right? Then this is not the right thing for you. Okay? Unless you are absolutely sure and you have this absolute clarity, you're not going to have the commitment or the motivation to do it. Okay? So in other words, because you are absolutely sure, because you have these aces, you know that this is the right thing for you. That there is no doubt. There is no other thing. There is no choice. Okay? What we saw with the Two of Swords is that it becomes the Ace of Swords. There is that union there. And then if we think of the Two of Cups about what you sort of want to pursue, we see that the two here becomes the Ace. So to me, it feels like there really is no doubt about what you what you're after, about what you want to do. There is this clarity that's coming to your life with these aces that they're showing that there is no second choice. There is no other option. Okay? And you're kind of saying, well, should I do it or should I not do it? No, I don't feel that you're even asking that. You're not in that phase of it anymore. There is certainty, there is clarity, there is a union. Yeah. And once you get that sort of certainty where you can't even entertain the idea of not doing it, then that's sort of like, that's your green light. You know what I mean? I love this for you. I think this is going to be major, major stuff for you. We're going to do an extended reading. If you want to stick around, there's a link up top. There's a link down below. New readings for Pisces Thursdays and Sundays. Be sure to watch both readings. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It is totally free. Doesn't cost anything. Also subscribe to the Dove and Serpent bedtime stories, right? Leave a comment and let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you, and we're all in this together.